It's common to outsource the development of KPIs or performance measures to consultants, or it can be delegated to an individual to do it all by themselves. But neither of those methods really work well. You'll get much greater KPI buy-in that leads to ownership of performance improvement and more accountability with a well-designed measures team. A measures team is a group of people who will work together through a performance measurement method like PuMP to select and implement a set of KPIs on behalf of their team. They'll do the bulk of the work to set up those KPIs, and they will engage the rest of the team and other stakeholders too at critical points along the way. The group is essentially a mastermind. And with the power of them all working together, you can accelerate the progress that your organisation makes in measuring what really matters and getting faster engagement and ownership right across the organisation too. But for a measures team to work well, there are a few conditions that you really ought to strive for in setting up and managing them. Now, the first condition is to choose a measures team leader that knows the KPI method. The measures team is led by someone who has been trained, in other words, and possibly certified in the performance measurement method that your organisation's chosen. They don't need to be an expert, but they certainly need to know enough about that method to lead others through its implementation. Now, this leader might be in a corporate role. They might be the chief performance officer or someone who works in the corporate strategy planning and performance group. But they might also be their local performance measurement champion in their department or business unit. Now, the leader of the measures team, their mission is to help that team appreciate, understand, and apply the performance measurement method. To make the experience engaging and productive, they will find probably group facilitation skills are another must-have. The second condition is to include volunteers only in the measures team. Now, you want your measures team to be positive and enthused and engaged and not hold up progress with any cynicism or procrastination. Now, I have worked with measures teams where some members were nominated by managers and who otherwise would not have volunteered, but because their heart wasn't in it, everyone else had to make up for the extra work. So wider buy-in suffered greatly as well. Now, the more positivity that others sense from a measures team, the more likely they'll want to volunteer too. It takes time for the interest to grow since, measurement does suffer a bit of a bad stigma in many organisations. But with the help of the Measure Gallery, which is a tool that PuMP measures teams will use to engage others, this interest can grow rather quickly. Now, the third condition is to aim for 5 specific roles in the members of your measures team. So for a team to develop a set of KPIs to the point that they're ready for broader team use, a certain set of skills and knowledge really is going to be useful among those team members. So the skills and knowledge are these. Number 1, skill in the measurement method that will be used for at least one measures team member other than the leader. Number 2, knowledge of the data that's available in the organisational unit that the measures team represents and how to get that data. Number 3, skill in group facilitation to avoid or manage conflicts or stuckness or group energy in general. Number 4, knowledge of how the organisational unit's processes work, the outputs and the outcomes that they produce. Number 5, knowledge of the organisation's overarching strategy and how the organisational unit aligns with that. Now, without violating the volunteers guideline, aim to have your measures team members collectively possess these skills and knowledge, because that's going to keep progress smoother and faster. Now, our fourth condition for measures teams is to make sure that the members' managers support their involvement. Talk with managers to make it clear what the commitment involves and get their promise that this time will be freed in their measures team representative schedules. You cannot bolt on performance measurement. It has to be a priority higher than something else which they'll have to stop doing for a while to make the time. It's a great idea, if you can, to invite the manager themselves to be a member on the measures team. Now, that is a strong signal of their support, but facilitation skills and good ground rules right from the start are going to be necessary, because it's too easy for everyone else in the team to just default to everything that the manager says during those measurement sessions. The fifth condition is to meet with your measures team regularly. Now, weekly is ideal for a measures team to get together to implement their performance measurement method, and it's why in PuMP we talk about an 8-week PuMP pilot implementation. It's fast and it's focused. However, rarely do measures teams find they can keep up that weekly cadence. So fortnightly can work, but certainly no less than monthly, because you want to avoid losing momentum and you want to keep your team dynamics strong. And perhaps a quick weekly check-in can help if the work-focused sessions can't be as often as you'd like. The sixth condition is to focus your measures team members on learning through implementation. It's the first time that your measures team is using your chosen performance measurement method, so encourage them to trust it. Don't let them change it at a whim. Implement it as it's intended, reflect on what happened, and notice and capture what you learn. Now, when the discipline of following an agreed process dissolves away, progress dissolves away too, and so does the likelihood of success. So developing that set of KPIs for the broader team might start feeling like you're spinning wheels and herding cats. Keep it about learning through implementation. Now, the seventh and final condition is to celebrate the measures team's successes and their failures. Your measures team, like any other group of people in your organisation, will find their motivation wanes unless they get some intrinsic value from being part of measuring performance. So design celebration into your project with them. Now, it might be as simple as coffee and cake, or as silly as some badges or prizes, or something a bit more social like another measure gallery at the end to showcase and share what they're proud of. So, don't outsource measurement or do it for them on your own. What makes performance measurement fundamentally work as it should is ownership. Ownership starts with engagement or buy-in, and because measurement is so intrinsic to doing excellent work, it really should become an in-house skill. Measures teams are a way to accomplish that. Now, if you have any experiences to share about who designs the measures in your organisation, or you just want to ask a question about this, I'd love to hear from you in the comments.